allow young entrepreneurs, hustlers to come together, share ideas on how to start and grow a business. This is a platform that helps us, every one of us, the hustlers, the entrepreneurs, people with business mindset, to advertise and market our day-to-day hustling. So with Midnight is my brother, Mr. Pastor Mukuka Kennedy Kangwa. Welcome, Mr.
Thank you so much for having me here. I'm so glad to be here.
So we are very much humbled as well for making it up to here. How is the family, Pastor Kangwa?
No, we are well home. Hoping you are well too.
No, we are very much okay as well.
That's wonderful.
Today, just like we have said on our Hustlers Booth, we'd like to share on some business tips on how one can start and grow a business. So, what's your take on that one?
Okay, thank you so much. That is a very interesting subject and topic altogether. Those are things that we need to hear, especially at a time like this one, where a lot of people have entered into business, where a lot of people have business minds, have business ideas, but sometimes they lack who to orient them and to take them through step by step into their business. So I'm very glad that you invited me to this platform where we can share some business tips here and there. And I just want to believe as we share, a lot of you viewers will benefit and will utilize the opportunity that has come unto you.
Sure. So, what are some of the business tips that you would want the viewers and those that would want to start their business should come to realize before and even after starting their business?
Okay, thank you. I would like to share with you, viewers, 8 tips that you can understand or rather take from here, even as you wish to grow your business, or even those that are just beginning their business. 8 tips that I would like to share with you. Number 1, your capital is your seed and not your fruit. You know, there's a difference between a fruit and a seed. You cannot have a fruit without having a seed, but you can have a seed without having a fruit.
Nice one.
Exactly. So it is very important that every business lady, woman or man understands that idea, to say their capital is a seed and not their fruit. So this one simply means it will be dangerous for a businessman to eat their capital, because when they eat their capital, tomorrow they will have no fruits, or rather their profit, because what brings a profit is a capital. Now, how much is capital? How much is capital? And can you only call it capital when it is in monetary form? That is not the idea. That is not the idea. Your strength can be your capital. Your knowledge can be your capital. Your skill can be your capital. Your talent can be your capital. Exactly. Yeah, these can be your capital. Your skill, your talent, your knowledge, your money can be your capital. Now, how can your talent be a seed? Because we are saying capital is a seed and not a fruit. Exactly. Your capital, your talent can be a seed because you are engaging, you are trying to apply the knowledge that you have, and you are trying to utilize your talent to give you some income, and the income that will come to you is the fruit. For example, if you're a footballer, that talent that you have of being a footballer is your capital, that talent. And after you play and you are awarded, you get an income, your income at the end of it all is your seed. Exactly. So now, don't misuse your talent, because when you misuse your talent, you will not have your income. Exactly. So number one tip that you and I should take from here, and which should be applied, is that your capital is your seed and not your fruit. So you should ask a farmer. If a farmer harvests today, he will make sure that he reserves some sacks of maize, which will act as seed when for the next farming season. Exactly. That is his capital. Exactly. That is his capital. And whatever he's eating is the fruit from that seed that he had planted. So if at all a farmer harvests and eats everything together with the seed, together with the capital, he will not have fruits next time. Exactly. So your capital is your seed and not your fruit. Don't eat your capital, no matter how big or small it may be. Don't eat your capital. Exactly. Number two, your income should always be more than your expenditure. Your income should always be more than your expenditure. I have seen and I know of some businessmen today whose business is slowly but surely shrinking because their expenditure every month is more than their income. Exactly, it's more than their income. For example, if someone earns a 5,000 kwacha monthly and their expenditure is 6,000, the question is, where are they getting that 1,000? That indicates that there are only two things. It is either they are stealing that 1,000, or they are from somewhere else, or they're getting loans, kaloba, credits, and other things. Now the question is, when you spend 6,000 a month, meanwhile your income is 5,000, where are you going to get the money to finance your credits? Exactly. So you discover that if at all your income as a businessman is less to your expenditure, or is less to your expenditure, you face challenges and problems. And I want to assure you that if you continue in that way, you are risking your business, and your business or your company may break anytime soon, because you will be getting from your capital to finance that loan, or rather that kaloba which you are getting. So the idea here is that if you want your business to succeed as an individual, make sure that your income is more than your expenditure. In that way, you will discover that even saving is even easier. Yes, even saving is even easier. But if at all your income is less and your expenditure is more, what you're about to save, you will get it to finance where you got that money. Exactly. So your income should be more than your expenditure. In that way, you will actually even be able to save, number one. Number two, you will actually even be able to invest. Because, for example, if at all your income is 5,000 and your budget at home is 2,000, rentals, ABCD, that is just an example. Anyway, yeah. We know life is hard, but that is just an example. For example, you earn 5,000 monthly, and your capital, your budget rather, is 2,000 kwacha. That simply means that gives you a direction and a vision that such kind of a person is capable of even investing. Number one, for example, that 2,000 is removed, and what is yours now there is 3,000. From the 3,000, maybe you will say, I will save a 2,000, and a 1,000 it will be for emergencies at home. You will discover that investment, or the savings that you're doing every month 2,000, every month 2,000, every month 2,000. You will discover that at the end of the year, you have something that you can actually even invest back to a business. Exactly. You can invest back in your business. Exactly. So make sure that your income is always higher than your expenditure. In that way, even pressure of life will be lessened in the stress. Yeah, I know of people today who earn 10,000 monthly, but they're not able to save because they're saying there's too much pressure. You will discover that, follow it nicely, you discover that most of them, their expenditure is more than their income. But you discover that those who are earning 1,000 kwacha monthly, they're able to save because of understanding some of these issues. Exactly. Number three. Not every friend of yours should know about your business ideas before they germinate, because some of your friends may chop off your ideas before actually they even germinate. Yeah, you know, I know we are friends, and the members say, I'm in a mouth part. You may have 5 friends. They may be showing you teeth and they may be laughing at you, and they may be laughing with you. But I want to tell you that among those 5 friends, maybe 2 or 3, they are jealousy of your ideas, and they may not actually need you to progress in life. This one also indicates that you need to be careful with the type of friends that you entertain in your life. So on this tip, I am saying, not every friend of yours needs to know about your business ideas before they germinate. They may cut them even before they germinate. Exactly, because an idea may actually be a seed also. Yes, it begins from there. Before your capital, before we call capital in terms of money as a seed, what begins to be called a seed is your idea in the mind. From an idea, it now goes to understanding, how can I actualize and how can I grow this idea? If I told that idea for it to grow, it needs money, which is also a seed. You will now transition your idea down to monetary seed now. Exactly.
So Pastor, on this one, you are saying, because there's this one thing that I've heard about the idea generation in the business.
Yes.
Where they say you can have one idea, or sometimes you can generate an idea through brainstorming.
Yeah.
Where you ask different friends on what business can be done within that locality, and maybe one. Okay, so far you have mentioned about the 3 tips that one should consider before even during the business. So we may continue from where we ended.
Okay, thank you. The other tip that you have to understand when you're dealing with business is that partnership is not always the best. Yes, especially if at all that is when you are beginning your business and you actually have no idea about the business that you want to venture into. Partnership is not always the best. Don't rush it. Be open-minded, and also be slow as you contemplate and think about partnership in business. I have seen friendship break because of partnership. I have seen people lose money because of partnership. I have seen people die because of partnership. So partnership is not always the best when one is beginning a business, especially a business they have no idea about. You may risk losing your money. Exactly. I am not trying to demonize or trying to brush partnership off, that it is totally a bad idea. No. But I'm trying to say partnership is not always the best. Now, what is partnership? Partnership is doing business, doing a joint business, partnering with a friend, partnering with a company, partnering with an already existing business to so that you may have shares also, so that you may put, for example, if I try at 5,000, you have 5,000, but the business you want to venture into is a business that maybe can run smoothly and nicely. If at all we have minimum capital of 10,000, when we put money together and begin that business, or if at all you are running a business and then I come in and push in some monies also, that is partnership. Now, why am I saying partnership is not always the best? I am saying so because some people are not honest. Some people are not honest.
I think that's the point that I wanted to bring in, because I've seen companies from our friends, the whites, the Arabs, the Indians. You know, sometimes they bring their resources and ideas together, and we have so much big companies that have come into existence. So I think to concur with your point, maybe it's so about we Africans, especially Zambians, we are not trustworthy.
That's true.
Yeah, I think on that one you are very much right.
Exactly. So as you know, there is always that zeal. There is always, especially if at all, you know, I've seen people where they are not business minded, but they have cash, but yet they want that cash to continue flowing, They have no idea. For example, they want to venture into transport business.
Logistics.
Yes, transport and logistics, but they have no idea how to run it, but money, they have it. They want to go to a guy who have idea into that thing, then push in their money. Maybe they buy trucks, maybe 3 trucks, 4 trucks, and let that guy begin to run it. So you discover that is a good idea, but not all are faithful and honestic. So as you wish to venture into that idea, be careful, because you may risk losing your money, risk losing friendship, and above all, losing your life. Exactly. So number 5, before taking a step into any business, study its risks, because even prostitution has risks. Exactly. Before starting any business, study the risks of that business. Exactly. Because stealing has risks, prostitution has risks, adultery has risks. Now, why am I mentioning these things into a business forum or a business setup like this one? Prostitution has been taken like business today. Theft has been taken like business today. Adultery has been taken like business today in some areas where we come from. Exactly. So now, why am I saying study the risks? You know, every individual wants to begin a business, wants to hear the good thing in that business. When you tell them the bad thing about that business or the risks in that business, they may actually even interpret your idea or your advice to them as jealousy.
Yeah. You're right. They may even label you.
Exactly. Especially Africans.
Yeah, sure.
They will actually even label you to be a bad person. They will never consult from you. They will only come and tell you that things didn't go well. How do you go about this when you have already made a mistake which you were discouraging them? For example, you want to go into, maybe I've seen a lot of people have gone into mobile money business. Yeah.
Because this time I think everywhere.
Yes. Everywhere you go, there is a booth. Everywhere you go, especially in Lusaka, you cannot walk more than
a meter. Even a meter. Sometimes even a meter.
Yes, there is a booth. There is a mobile money business.
Yeah, just recently when the council came in and tried to
exactly.
But even now still
Yes. We're not saying mobile money business mobile money business is a bad idea, is a bad thing. You shouldn't go into it. But the point we are trying to drive home here is that before you begin a business, study the risks and ask also the risks into it. For example, that same business that we have just which we have just mentioned here, people will ask the good part of it and fail to ask the bad side of it. Those are issues. Now you discover that yes, the person who is advising you advise you 100 sweet things about that business, and you fail to hear one thing that will make the 100 of that which you're being told to be a risk rather in what you're being told. And when you go into that business with the idea of everything is sweet and honey, everything is all joy, everything is all 100%, those are businesses where you go in today, you want to come in quicker than you went in. So discover and learn the risks about what you're going into. You know, business sometimes is like marriage. People today want to marry. And the question, whatever they'll be reading on Facebook, on social media is, how can you make your wife happy? How can you make your wife happy? They don't want to find out to say, what are some of the discouragements and some of the challenges that marriages are facing today. Because they are afraid when they discover some of the challenges, they'll pull out quickly and not to marry.
Just a point on what we are saying, Pastor.
Yeah.
Though it's not part of our
Yes.
today we have so many cases of divorce as compared to people getting into marriage. Because of the point that we are saying, people are consulting the challenges, the problems that one may face.
They want the good things.
Sure.
They always want the good things. You know, people think marriage is all sexy and all romance and the like. They don't know that even drought exists even there.
You know, this has reminded me of the post that I saw on Facebook one day.
Yeah.
The guy said, can't see much quality, you could have prayed every day. How guys are double. And
Exactly.
I was like, wow.
Exactly.
So you are right on your...
So it's very important that... Exactly. So it's very important that as you wish to go into business, yes, some business have got huge profits altogether, but understand the risks that come with that business, because when you understand the risks that come with that business, you'll be able to handle them, and you'll be ready, you'll be prepared to handle and to stand firm even when those challenges come. You will not be easily shaken because you are prepared and you are ready. But above all, yes, there are some risks. You cannot know all the risks. There are some risks that you will face and find while you are into them, because they say experience is the best teacher. But before you go there, discover and ask some of the risks that are in the business that you want to venture into. Exactly. The other tip, the other advice that I want to give here is that we are living in a world of we're in a Christian nation. We're in a Christian nation where people are praying, where people are fasting, where people are reading the Bible, where people have the zeal to become righteous, the zeal to go to heaven, the zeal to prepare to go to heaven, which is okay, which is very good altogether. But the question is, before you go to heaven, you have this place where you are in here. In as much as you ask God to prepare you to go and enjoy the place there, ask Him also, how can He prepare you to enjoy the place where you are here? There are people who think like being rich is a sin. So
I think on that one, it's more points on that one, because some of us think, whenever we see a rich man, we associate them to Satanism.
No. So the tip that I want to share with you is that being rich is biblical. Being rich is actually biblical. Haven't you read? The Bible says that we are not supposed to be tails, but rather we are supposed to be heads.
Yes.
Exactly. And again, the Bible says in Deuteronomy 8 verse 18, the Bible says, remember that it is the Lord your God who gives you the power to become rich.
Okay.
Yes, to become rich.
I repeat that verse.
Deuteronomy 8 verse 18.
Okay.
Yes. Remember that it is the Lord your God who gives you the power to become rich. He does this because He is still faithful today to the covenant that He made with your ancestors. Exactly. So from this verse we derive a point, or we derive a lesson that being rich is actually biblical. Read about Solomon, read about Job, read about many people in the Old Testament, in the New Testament. You will not find someone who was not working extra hard. Even Paul was a tent maker. He was a tent maker, exactly. When you look at Joseph, the father to Jesus, he was a carpenter. He was a carpenter. And we know people today who are carpenters who are doing very well. They are rich altogether. So we have people today like Job who kept animals, and we have people today who are keeping animals and they are extra rich. So it is biblical to become rich. It is biblical to be rich. So don't demonize richness. Don't demonize richness. There are people today, when they look at a very big building, they actually look at it and say, God, look at your people.
How
they are wasting resources. How they are wasting resources. No, brother. It is biblical to become rich. Read about those people that I've told you actually. You you only discover that some of those people in the Bible, actually, when you look at some rich people that we have today, they cannot be compared to the rich people.